Let's go back in time when YouTube wasn't so corporate. Let's go back in time when having 1 million subs meant you were a pretty big deal. Let's go back in time when one channel, when one face was the most popular face on the entire website.
Hey, it's Fred!
Who doesn't like potatoes?
Hater.
It's safe to say that, like, everybody grew up watching Fred, even though people generally don't want to admit that. Fred was a giant product of the 2000s, early 2010s. Like, you couldn't avoid the guy. I mean, he was the face of YouTube. He had not one, but 3 movies, and he made music. But get this, the bastard even made a cartoon.
Hey, it's Fred! This has been the absolute worst week of my entire life!
The show was called It's Fred, and premiered all the way back in 2011, which was 11 years ago. Time is an illusion that makes everything make sense. Now you're probably saying, well, 52, is it as bad as all the other Fred media that's out there? And, let's get into that.
This is gonna be fun! I wanna know who's ready to ball.
There are a lot of facts about It's Fred that I found out. For starters, Lucas Cruikshank didn't write a single episode of the show. His only role was voice acting Fred and being an executive producer. The show was written by Eric Casimiro and Kay Baudelaire, who, get this, worked on the fucking Rugrats and Wild Thornberries.
Pause. What the fuck?
Son, this blew my mind when I first saw it, son, but in all honesty, it makes sense. Fred's lore is a bit all over the place and messy, so hiring professional writers to streamline the story was a right call. What? You don't know the lore behind Fred? Well, prepare to be educated.
Fred lives with his grandmother and his mother, who is a recovering drug addict and alcoholic stripper. Fred has been a victim of child abuse, and his father is a former rock musician and currently on death row in the state penitentiary. The series uses a floating timeline, meaning it is always taking place in the current year, and Fred is perpetually 6 years old and in kindergarten.
Yeah, you wouldn't think the Fred lore goes that deep. The quote-unquote overall story of Fred really isn't prevalent in the YouTube videos, which is why Fred is targeted as a kid's property. All they have to do is just not highlight the more darker elements, where It's Fred takes a darker tone to the property and just runs with them. Casimiro and Baudelaire did really well with what they were given. Truth be told, Fred works more as an adult cartoon than he ever did as a kid's show.
Hey y'all, it's Fred! I gotta tell you something.
The show follows a basic structure throughout its 9-episode run. Fred greets the audience and tells them that it's either been the worst day of his life or the worst week of his life.
Hey, it's Fred! Today is definitely going to be remembered as the worst day of my life! And not just because I was pinned to a rock and I did nearly hack off an arm.
From there, we get into each episode. Each episode shows Fred doing what he can to impress / get with Judy, all while avoiding Kevin the best way he can.
Ow!
I think campfires are totally romantic. All that smoke and haze. When my future husband proposes to me, I want it to be by a campfire.
Oh my damn it! Could you be any more obvious? Judy wants to marry me. I mean, saying that stuff about campfires practically right in my ear is basically begging me to propose to her.
By the end of each episode, Fred realized the experience wasn't that bad as he made it out to be, and proceeds to look on the bright side of things.
So I guess it wasn't such a bad day after all. I beat Kevin at his own game as Judy and I took the first step in our relationship, communing with nature together.
Y'all, this show was not made for kids. There's mild cursing,
What the hell are you doing here?
I've come to break you out.
gross out humor,
Let me go! I have to save my girlfriend's my tooth!
child dog fights,
Oh my damn it! It's Hillbilly Kevin!
I'm gonna rip out your liver and eat it raw.
That's when everything went black.
sexual innuendos,
Hey, you're making it hard for me to light my flame of love. Mom, gross! Is there a man in our house?
Hey, that's how rumors get started.
racial stereotyping, and even death.
American. Kita bahora sa kipundo yurahara alekan yakamalaha.
Now, I'm going to try this one more time, and then maybe you'll leave me alone.
Kevin!
Ew, gross. He landed in the wood chipper.
I think I just saw Jesus. I had no idea he was black.
Oh. Okay. But honestly, all of it works. I could definitely see this being on like Comedy Central like 9 p.m. I'm really glad the writers leaned more into the adult themes of the property to create something unique to the Fred brand. If they had the chance to have more episodes and really dig deep into the storytelling, this could have been a really solid show. But what they managed to give us, it's not so bad.
Mom, do we have to go? I don't want to.
The animation is very odd. The animation was done by 6 Point Harness Animation Studio. They're responsible for a lot of big projects like the Drawn Together movie, the Monster High web show, Hair Love, and even the Dick Figures movie. The style really gives me South Park vibes. Like, I could see this being completely stop motion paper cutout style. The character designs really speak volumes for the characters. You get a sense of how these characters act just by their looks. One thing I can't stand though is that Fred isn't wearing any fucking shoes. Like, come on guys, you couldn't give him something else besides fucking socks? Also my last point really doesn't apply to Kevin. I will definitely say he looked better in the movies and the TV show. Speaking of which, I really didn't think the Fresh was that bad. I probably shouldn't have said that. That's gonna discredit me a lot now. God damn it. Yo, look at this shot where Fred is entirely too small in the frame. It's kind of funny, isn't it? There are some small inconsistencies with the animation, but like, it ain't nothing to stress over. Also, the backgrounds are really simple, but I think it works. Whenever the show wants to do some more expressive scenes, they pull it off quite nicely. Most of the time, you're gonna get these jaggedy cuts, but again, I think it works. Alright, so like, Fred has always been personified as a person you really shouldn't look up to or even sometimes like, which confuses me to why they marketed this towards children. It's cranked up to like 11 in this show. Fred is like a menace to society and you shouldn't root for him to win like ever. Nigga jumps the first opportunity to tear off Kevin's arm.
Ow! My arm is stuck! I can't move!
Ooh, it's just like that movie.
Judy's right. Looks like we'll have to cut off your arm in order to free you. Lucky for you, I have this spork.
No! No one is cutting off my arm!
Let him do it, Kevin. I'm too young to be a widow.
Stop! No! Stop!
Just think happy thoughts. It won't hurt so bad.
Fake knowing Judy's grandma to try and get a move on Judy.
This is so fantastic! All I have to do is act really sad about Judy's granny and she'll completely bond with me and we'll be able to grieve together forever! Take me instead! Take me instead!
Ew, granny panties. To think she has to wear those for all eternity?
Gets his mom arrested so that he has a chance to get adopted by Judy's parents to make a move on Judy.
We're the monthlies.
Fred, meet your new foster mama and foster daddy.
But the Munsleys I want comb their hair and don't smell like ashtrays and have a daughter named Judy!
Gets Kevin tased twice, all because he was trying to get a move on Judy. Like, okay, hold on now. Fred is one of the biggest simps in media history, and no one wants to talk about this. Like, this nigga will go through hoops and commit war crimes all to impress some bitch who doesn't even like him. We're talking about Mordecai and the icing, but like, son, Fred is a menace to society for some dusty ass pussy, man, period.
Now listen! That's called motherfucking bars, nigga!
The writers really do make you root for Fred to get with Judy. It's always been that way since the beginning. But in It's Fred, you more or less feel sorry for him. Like, you can make the argument that Fred is a product of the way he was raised, but that's a different argument for a different video essay that I am not gonna make. All the other characters are just okay. They really don't get that much screen time besides Fred. Judy is just fucking boring. Like, God, I don't know what Fred sees in this bitch. She's just a carbon copy of a girl you can find anywhere, man. Man, fuck Judy. Hashtag justice for birth. What the fuck? What? Why am I doing this? Why am I making this goddamn video? No one watched this shit. So what the fuck? You know what? I'm just gonna say it. Kevin is better live action. In the show, Kevin is just a normal kid compared to Fred. I mean, yeah, he bullies him. But like, in live action stuff, it's handled up way more so that, you know, it's actually funny. Same thing goes for Fred's mom. They handled her better in live action. In the show, she's just neglectful. Like, she gets arrested, so I even marvel at the fact she's getting arrested. Whereas her live action counterpart definitely would at least thrown hands. I guess you could say the character interactions are played straight. Is that a good thing? Fuck if I know. After all is said and done, do I like this show? Yeah. Actually, I do like this show. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely not perfect, and if you don't like Fred, you're definitely not gonna like this. But as for me, I had a fun time with it. Despite its flaws, I think it's one of the best pieces of Fred media that's out there. I put it above the TV show. If this aired on like Nick at Night, and they fine-tuned the animation and all the writing and stuff, honestly, I could see this being pretty successful. Rewatching this brought back some pleasant memories. I know Fred isn't regarded as good content, but as for me, the screaming 6-year-old with a camera will always be a part of my life. Whether I like it or not. See you all in a future video.
Peace out, gangsters!